I'm Roy Potter, a former U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel. Welcome to the Potter Expositor.
Hi ladies and gentlemen, today is the 23rd of March 2018. I'm Roy Potter and this is the Potter Expositor. Welcome. Kind of serious day today. As most of you probably know, President Trump decided to sign the Omnibus bill because he said that the Congress was holding the military hostage. We have the largest defense budget in the world. You could add almost all the other nations, industrial nations on the earth, and we outspend all of them. Some incredible amount. It's not quantity, it's quality. I'm still a little sick, so I apologize for my nasal sound here. You know, a lot of injustices, a lot of tyrannies are justified, when they say, oh, we're doing it for the children. Yeah, right. Or we're doing it to liberate somebody. Yeah, right. Do you know how many tyrants in the world in history have said that the reason why they've done some horrible thing is because they're going to liberate somebody or save the children? As I've said, the military is a necessary evil. It's not something that we should worship or glorify. Be prepared, yes, but it's out of control. Part of that's to do with some things that we've talked about this week, thanks to Field McConnell showing us about the Senior Executive Service and CERCO. And I'm not going to cover those right now, but you need to go look those up. Betsy and Thomas Paine of American Intelligence Media have talked about those items in a lot of depth, along with Mr. McKibben, who can give you some of that inside information. And, of course, Field McConnell's Able Danger. Suffice it to say that our government is run by a large group of people, primarily in the DOJ, who control it, who have been bought off and don't have the interests of the country at heart. And it's been that way for a long time. It's called the shadow government, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on it here. It's almost too huge to try to cover it in just a few minutes. But we've been duped time and time again because we will not hold our politicians' feet to the fire and force them to abide by the Constitution of the United States. Now we sacrifice unborn children to state-funded abortions. We don't take care of our citizens, all on the altar of saving the military. Well, this is not good. Now, I was trying to figure out some things here. If Trump's going to use the military to save the constitutional republic because of this coup that's going on against him, well, all right, yeah, maybe. But I'm not sure that's what's going on. We have John Bolton, and I've heard the arguments on both sides about whether John Bolton's a good choice or not. It's always, well, Trump needs somebody who could squeeze the juice out of everybody else, and then when he doesn't need him anymore, he'll throw him away. Where's that gotten us so far? It looks like to me well, as Lionel put it, it's almost a schizophrenia. I have a lot of respect for Lionel. He's much more diplomatic than I am. Well, look, there's some other things going on. You got to remember the Senior Executive Service and CERCO that's controlling our government. We've got to do something about that if we possibly can. And the Congress has allowed this to happen. Go and look that up. I'm not going to spend any more time out there. Some other things I wanted to bring up. One being this whole situation with the bombing in Austin. I know a lot of you don't like Monty of Monograph, but the guy is brilliant and he understands what he's doing. He's an IT computer genius, all right? And he has shown that the individual that the FBI has pegged on this Mark Pundit, is likely a patsy. Now, I put the link down below in the description box for you to go watch Monty's video. It's very important. L-E-T. You'll see it there. And the case is, as far as I'm concerned, closed and shut. You know, just on the information that he presents, not counting everything else. The FBI is covering up people in its own organization that have conducted these wrongdoings. Just like the shooter or the FBI agent who followed the terrorists up through Texas to the Garland shooting, to where they were going to shoot Pam Geller and Geert Wilder. Then the Parkland shooting, where we see uniformed SWAT-looking type people loading something that's heavy in the back of a white pickup truck. And a teacher that says that she saw a person dressed up as SWAT shooting people in the building. And others saying that the supposed perpetrator was with them at the time. There are all kinds of problems here. I point out that white truck at the Parkland shooting because it was a white pickup truck and two other white vehicles that supposedly stopped the vehicle that was being driven by this Mark Pundit. And yet none of it makes any sense when you look into the basics. Just the basics. And then we have the Las Vegas shooting problem. We're not getting the truth from Trump or anybody about the Las Vegas shooting, about the Parkland shooting, and now about the Austin bombings. And I could sit here and name a lot of other things, 9/11, the Boston bombings, the Virginia Reporter shooting in Roanoke, Sandy Hook. We could go on and on. There's something happening here, if you've got your eyes open and your ears open, that you should be able to see that this is all a lie, that they're covering things up. And you can probably say, well, so that the IC can pat themselves on the back and keep getting funding and keep pulling the wool over the American people's eyes as they do this takeover with the senior executive service, Serco, et cetera, et cetera. Trump has to stop playing games with these people. You don't win when you play a game with the devil. You play the devil's game and you lose. Truth has to come out, and it has to come out massively. Okay, the True Pundit series on the LV shootings and the FBI cover-up is now coming out. There's a link to that down in the description box below as well. I'm not going to cover all the information. I hope that you have the intestinal fortitude and the curiosity to go and learn these things on your own, because I don't have the time to spell it out here. True Pundit, death threats have been made against Thomas Paine of True Pundit because of this series that's coming out. He has inside information from FBI sources that show that they're covering up because there are multiple shooters. ISIS was involved, on and on and on. And Antifa, which doesn't surprise anybody. I've told everybody that if Trump doesn't get on the ball, despite the political dangers, there are going to be more people hurt, more lies, and the 5G is going in. They just installed it near my place here. They didn't help my service any, but it's there, and it's going on everywhere. Yeah, he stopped China from taking control of it, but that doesn't help us 100%. Okay, well, I'm still not up to par. I just wanted to make this real quick presentation so that you know I'm very disturbed about what I'm seeing. And I'm tired of the excuses. So we're going to okay another how many millions of unborn children being funded by the taxpayer being killed. Wow. All for the sake of a military, supposedly, that has been used totally unjustly throughout the world for at least 3 to 4 decades, maybe 5. Wave the flag. Feel real good about yourselves. You know what? Judgment's coming, ladies and gentlemen, because it's not changing. And this judgment is going to be bad. It's going to do very bad things. Because we fail to act righteously with some excuse. Yes, I'm very disturbed. People say, gee, Roy, you're supposed to support Trump. I say I support Trump in his righteous endeavors, and I ask God to bless him in his righteous endeavors. The longer he waited and waits to act properly against the traitors in this country, the more power they get, and the less likely it is going to be for him to be able to do anything about it. One of the things that Monty pointed out was, and so did Scott Anthony, pointed out was, they could, with Voco, it's these computer programs where all they need is to have your voice on for, 20 minutes or something like that, and they can basically copy your voice to say anything, and your computer images. They can make it look like you did something and said something you never did. And I've warned about that too. But that just, they're starting to talk about that some more because of this whole, videotape of supposedly Paddock in the Mandalay Bay. You look at it, gosh, I do video and I'm looking at this and I'm saying, this almost looks like CGI. Or actually what it is, it's some type of like a Photoshop program for video. It's almost obvious. The contrasts and things don't match up. Okay, well, I'm rambling now, but I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this is out of hand. He should not have signed that omnibus bill. That was wrong. Just like I said last summer, and people castigated me for saying it. He shouldn't have signed the Russian embargo sanctions bill. That was wrong. That's a surrender. And here we go again. All for the sake of what? We don't have to worry about foreign nations coming in here and destroying us. We're doing it to ourselves. We're going to hell in a handbasket. Maybe it's time for us, we've tried a lot of things. We've tried a lot. Maybe it's time to just try to get good with God and try to, make it through this. This is the real storm. This is going to be a real storm. Not the promised one about getting rid of the bad people in the government, but the other way around. If you can't see it, I can't help you. I can't help you. I'm going. God bless you. God bless the constitutional Republic of the United States of America. God bless the floundering Second American Revolution. And God bless Donald Trump in his righteous endeavors. But I'm beginning to wonder where they are. Out here until next time.